I, 34F, snooped through my boyfriend's, 36M, phone, got exactly what I deserve. My, 34F, boyfriend, 36M, have been together for 9 months. Prior to us getting together he was married for a few years, but he found out she had been having an affair with someone out of state. We started dating through the separation and after the divorce had been finalized. Both of us had some trauma we were dealing with, but I thought we could work through it together. More recently, I'd become concerned that our relationship had become stagnant. I had fallen in love with him months ago, but was too scared to say it. But there was no signs of moving forward in the relationship or growing outside of our normal routine. We'd met each other's friends and families and he had been with me through some pretty tough personal situations. To everyone looking in we seemed completely in love, but at the rate we were going I was afraid I'd never hear it. I couldn't understand what was stopping us from moving forward. This past weekend, we were staying at a friend's lake house for a wedding. At one point he went jet skiing with a friend, and I stayed behind to start getting ready for said wedding. His phone had been blowing up, and unfortunately my trauma got the best of me, and I snooped. I found exactly what I deserved to find. He was texting his ex-wife. This wasn't just casual conversation. He was sending her things like, "I'm thinking about you," and every time she told him she missed him he replied with, "I miss you too." I am heartbroken. These were things he said to me. When I confronted him, he apologized. After of course trying to deny everything, I decided to make the hour drive back home and skip the wedding. I was upset and I didn't want to ruin the mood. Today when I asked him why, he didn't really give me an answer other than he knew what he said to her was wrong. He did however tell me that I crossed a line by going through his phone and he wants to take a break from us for a while. I don't know what to feel. I'm sad that this might be the end, but I'm mad that this has all somehow been turned into all my fault. Don't get me wrong, I shouldn't have gone through his phone. I definitely made a mistake. But now instead of being in the dark about those two making me look like a fool, I know about it. What should I do? Is this end or is there a way to salvage this? Please help me. It's been a long time since I've been happy, and I feel like I ruined it again. Too long did not read. Went through my boyfriend's phone. Found out he was texting his ex-wife, and now he wants to take a break, for a while, because he feels I crossed a line. Update. Dear subreddit, relationship_advice. I want to thank you all for your kind words, your cruel words, the encouraging words, and some of the totally unrelated and weird words. I know none of you know me, but personally I've always considered myself somewhat of a disappointment. And I'm so sorry to let you know that I've gone and disappointed the majority of you that wanted me to be strong. I tried this morning. To no one's surprise he's definitely done with me, and I am still heartbroken. You're probably all wondering why or how I could still want this to work. Simply put, it has been my experience that when you've been so alone for so long you will try to hang on to anything that has given you even a glimpse of hope and happiness, because going back to the alternative is so miserable. I'm sorry to disappoint and let you guys down. I just wanted to be happy. Snuggly_raptor. I'm usually in the minority here, but I don't think it was a mistake. If you hadn't looked then you wouldn't know that he is having an emotional affair with his ex. He deserves the trauma he's walking into. It's time for you to move on. Make this break permanent. He is mad he got caught and trying to turn it around on you. There is better out there. Don't let yourself be gaslit. He did the wrong thing, he was having an emotional affair with his ex. You're better off ending it and letting him go back to his cheating ex. Would I message him? You can take an infinity break from me. I'm not interested in working this out. You and your ex deserve each other as you are now a cheat like her. Good luck to you both. Then block. You did nothing wrong. If my boyfriend left his phone behind and it was blowing up, I'd look too, in case it's an emergency. Yes, what he is doing is wrong. Personally, anyone separated or going through a divorce needs to be single for a while. It seems he rushed right into another relationship and wasn't fully done with his prior one. Leave the cheating loser. He's punishing you for finding out that he's cheating on you with his ex. At the very least it is an emotional affair. People who stay hung up on their exes and cheat on you with their exes are the absolute worst type. My GF is on Tinder while I'm at the ICU for my father. What do I do? 23 male 23 female. My dad is at the ICU for pneumonia and influenza. He's my only parent and has raised me my entire life. I told my girlfriend I won't be replying that much because I have a family emergency. I told her my dad so she knows. I haven't been messaging her for the entire day because I'm dealing with my father and I completely shut down. I've already lost a brother and I can't imagine losing my dad. After I messaged my girlfriend she sends me a screenshot of her talking to a guy on Tinder who makes kinda of inappropriate comments. She told me to focus on my dad and not on her at the moment. I'm just in complete shock because she's really doing all of that while everything that's going on. She knows my dad is at the ICU and so on. After she starts telling me she doesn't think it'll be good to be with one person forever and she should explore. I told her to delete Tinder, but she's telling me she won't delete it for now. We've been together for over 3 years and I feel so overwhelmed and sick to my stomach. Any advice what I should do will be really appreciated. Leave her, she sucks. Your girlfriend? You don't have a girlfriend anymore. Learn when to cut your losses, have some dignity. Your dad seems to be the only thing worth worrying about at the moment. After I messaged my girlfriend, she sends me a screenshot of her talking to a guy on Tinder who makes kind of inappropriate comments. She told me to focus on my dad and not on her at the moment. Lol, that has to be one of the most childish things I've seen. She is deliberately trying to make you jealous and then says, focus on your dad. I would kick her to the curb. I remember my ex-boyfriend breaking up with me while my mom was in a diabetic coma. Don't make my mistake. Drop her please. Why is her girlfriend on Tinder at all and show you? She is a total narcissist. Dump that bag of turds and focus on your dad. Red flag. Run from her. You should be glad you are not married to her. Break up immediately. Can't believe she is doing this during the time where you really needed her. She sounds like an immature brat. Hope your dad recovers fully soon and you move on to a better person. All the best. My girlfriend, 24F, exposed intimate pics of me, 24M, to her friends. How can I deal with the situation? My girlfriend, F24, and I, M24, have been together for a little over 3 years. We met in college and our relationship has always been really good. We trust each other completely, rarely argue, and always have open communication about our feelings and thoughts. I see her as the love of my life, and I've never had any reason to doubt the stability of our relationship, until recently, when something happened that really shook me. We had a serious argument, and now I'm unsure if I'm overreacting or if I'm justified in feeling hurt. For some context, my girlfriend has a close group of friends. Let's call them M, L, and G. They hang out quite a bit, and sometimes I join them, usually when G's boyfriend is there too, but they often have girls' nights. I've never had an issue with this, and I always encourage her to spend time with her friends. I trust her 100% and think it's healthy for couples to have different friends and hobbies. Usually, they go to each other's houses, but sometimes they go out to bars. Anyway, on Friday, they had one of their girls' nights at L's house. I stayed home, gamed a bit with my friends, and waited for her to come back. She came home around 2 a.m., clearly pretty drunk, but not completely wasted. She was a bit out of it, but nothing extreme. When she gets drunk, she tends to get really horny. This is important later, and this time was no different. However, since she seemed pretty out of it and I wasn't drunk myself, I just helped her to bed, played some more games, and went to sleep. So far, so good, right? Well, the issue came the next morning. I woke up before her and went to the gym, assuming she'd sleep in because she'd probably be hungover. While I was at the gym, I got a text from L. This wasn't unusual, but we're really only friends through my girlfriend, so it's not like we text often. I responded, and then she said she needed to tell me something about what happened the night before. Immediately, I got tense, worried that maybe something bad had happened to my girlfriend while she was at L's house. I asked her to explain, and after what felt like an eternity, she sent me a long text explaining the situation. Basically, the girls were drinking and chatting, and at some point, the conversation turned sexual. M and L are single, while my girlfriend and G are not. L was complaining about a bad date she had, and they started talking about their sex lives. At some point, my girlfriend, who was already pretty drunk, started sharing details about our sex life and parts of my body, kinda bragging about me to her friends. If that was all, I'd have felt uncomfortable, but nothing more serious than that. The real issue is that she then took her phone and showed them several intimate photos of me, pictures I had sent only to her. This was a complete violation of my trust, especially since she had never even mentioned sharing these kinds of details with her friends before. It was 100% without my consent. I was devastated. I thanked Elle for telling me and apologized for the awkward situation. She was super nice about it and told me not to worry, that she also thought it was inappropriate, and that I could talk to her if I needed to. I thanked her again and left the gym to go home. I couldn't focus, feeling completely betrayed. I didn't want to believe it, but I knew Elle had no reason to make something like that up. When I got home, my girlfriend was awake, making coffee. I told her we needed to have a serious conversation and asked her what happened the night before. She played it off like nothing major had happened, just a normal night with the girls. I brought up what Elle had told me, and she didn't deny it. In fact, she confirmed everything. I was crushed. Part of me still wanted to believe it wasn't true. I told her I felt completely betrayed, that she had broken my trust, and she immediately got defensive. She didn't even apologize, just said I was overreacting, that it wasn't a big deal, and that I should be happy she was showing me off. while her friends were complaining about their dates' boyfriends. I tried explaining that even if her intentions weren't bad, it was still a huge violation of my privacy and consent. She kept brushing off my feelings, saying I was exaggerating. I asked her how she'd feel if I shared intimate photos of her with my friends, and she said, "That's different." At that point, I couldn't take it and told her I needed some time to think. Only then did she start apologizing, saying she didn't want to lose me and regretted what happened, saying that she was drunk and wasn't thinking straight. But I was too upset to listen, so I left the house to clear my head. Later, I met up with Elle to talk about everything. She was really supportive and helped me process the situation. After some time alone, I went back home, and my girlfriend was in a really bad state, crying, apologizing, and saying she was worried. I calmed her down, and after a while, we talked more about it. I tried explaining my point again, but she still said I was exaggerating and that I had been wrong to just leave her like that. We ended up sleeping in separate rooms, and the next day things were still weird between us, with neither of us bringing it up. I feel completely betrayed, but I don't know. I also think that I might be blowing this out of proportion and that she didn't intend to harm or anything. She was just feeling good about her sexual life compared to her friends and wanted to share stuff about it with them. I don't know what to feel, to be completely honest. Edit. Just to make it clear, I'm not upset about the act of showing the pictures itself. I don't care that much about that. What I'm really concerned about is the fact that she did not talk to me beforehand. If she had done so, I might even be okay with her doing it. After all, the intention behind the act itself is not harmful. I asked her how she'd feel if I shared intimate photos of her with my friends, and she said, "That's different. You need to focus on this. Ask how TF is this any different in her mind. She needs to understand that it's not different. You are not overreacting at all. Underreacting maybe, but definitely not overreacting. The fact she is dismissive about her violation and how if you did that to her it would be different is a serious issue to resolve. She has to understand that sharing them was a betrayal of your trust. Tell her you want all intimate photos deleted from her phone. Make sure they are also deleted from the deleted photos as well. She clearly cannot understand the gravity of what she did or doesn't want to admit it to herself or you. That's different, fucking you. Run. This was not cool, and if she is incapable of seeing why this made you uncomfortable, then maybe the relationship won't work out. It actually wouldn't bother me that much, but how you're feeling is perfectly valid. However, I have to add that I'm 90% sure that Elle is trying to break you up and maybe even steal you for herself. This is terrible, especially since she did not care and still didn't think it was a big deal. She only fake apologized once you were going to potentially leave her. She needs to understand how bad this is, and it is no different than if you did that of her. She really sucks for this. Elle has got some ulterior motives here, I think. Is this considered cheating? Loudly crying heartbreak 32M. Maybe the girl is around 29F. I don't usually go through my partner's phone, and when I do, I always ask for permission first. But yesterday, after he came back from a long trip and was sleeping, something made me check his phone. What I found left me shocked and shaking. I went through his photos and stumbled upon his hidden folder, where I saw something that felt like my world was collapsing. There was a screenshot of a video call with my partner and a girl I didn't recognize. In the screenshot, she was smiling, and so was he. Along with that, there were other photos of her in the hidden folder. When I checked where they came from, I saw they were downloaded from WhatsApp. I looked at his WhatsApp and found no conversations with her, but when I checked his locked chats, I found her there, though the thread had been cleared. I also checked his Instagram to see if they were following each other, but I couldn't find her account. I haven't confronted him yet, and I'm staying calm until now, but inside, I'm desperate for answers. I don't want to jump to conclusions that he is cheating on me, that this act of him is not called cheating, as I trusted him, but is this considered cheating if he's hiding all this from me? I don't know what to do. Please, I need advice. Well, the fact it's hidden and things locked highly suggests it. About all that can be said. I don't use the hidden messages folder in WhatsApp for the chats with my casual friends, do you? Something is definitely fishy here. I would try to snoop in one more time and do my research and then I confront him. And yeah, I think it counts as cheating. Best of luck to you, and please remember it's about his lack of personality. If he wasn't guilty, would he have any reason to keep conversations with another woman from you? And photos of her and that he's video chatted with her. Clearing conversations is what serial cheaters do too. My ex used to do that. Thought it was weird at first, but then it all made sense. If nothing else, it's definitely wrong to be so secretive about all of it, because in reality a relationship is a partnership, and if you're lying or hiding things from your partner, you're not being a partner. I'm sorry girl, but he's definitely cheating. Before you confront him, send everything to yourself or take photos of it with your phone. 9/10 he's going to try to gaslight you into thinking you saw nothing. If he's behaving in an untrustworthy way, then yes, I consider it cheating. The fact that he's putting so much effort into hiding her existence from you even though they clearly have a close relationship is a red flag. People also don't clear chats when there isn't incriminating stuff in the conversations. I would show him a screenshot of the video chat in the secret folder and tell him that he better have a really good explanation, or this relationship is over. Like she is designing an engagement ring. Good. Also, you don't need proof of cheating to break up with someone. Just, I feel like trust is broken and I don't trust you anymore, is good enough. If they are hidden, there's probably a reason.